Hey guys, welcome back to this channel. In this channel, we talk about personal finance, investment, money relating stuff, property, side hustle, and I'm your host, Ronnie. In this video, I'm going to talk about 0% credit card. Is it really worth having? From time to time, I kind of see people's personal finance, and I comes to realize that some of people out there that I've seen so far have a commonality. First, they get a credit card. I don't know why, but for some reason, people have a credit card or a personal loan. To me, if you start your journey on investing having those things, it's not going to help you in the long run. It would make you a lot more, a couple of steps backward to say. Now, granted, I myself actually have one of those when I started my journey. Now, I don't know why I had a credit card in the first place, but in this video, I'm going to talk about 0% per annum credit card. Is it really worth having? So, now, depending on where you are in life, it might be cheaper to actually have a 0% credit card than your current credit card. So I use this myself. When I was young, I bought stuff on a credit card and I really needed a fund, and somehow that blew up out of proportion. I ended up owning, maybe about $5,000 to $10,000 or something. And then from there, to minimize costs, because I was paying roughly about, say, 15% is a typical credit card rate. Because I can't pay that $10,000 in one lump sum, I transfer that to a 0% balance transfer, or 0% for the first 12 months. Then it would kick into that 15% again. Depending if you are unable to pay it in one go, then that's probably cheaper to do it. But after a while, if you read the fine print, there's bound to be an annual fee of some sort. So if it's 0%, great, but there's bound to be an annual fee of, some of them is $55 per month, some of them is $300 a year, $500 a year. So each card company, it will be different. So I know one of my clients at the current stage that had a lot of credit card debt, consolidated, do a balance transfer. That way they don't pay a lot of interest, and they just try to smash that loan as much as possible. A credit card product, let's say, it is such a bad product for a user, great product for the bank, because they're charging roughly 15 to about 20%. I had never seen anything like 5% credit card. No, it's always double digits. At the current stage anyway, it's always a double digits, and on a mid 15 or like high 10% or mid 10%, somewhere around there. So for a small amount of money that they provided you, they can reap heaps of reward from it. As a bank, that is. As a user, you get a financial hangover every day. It's not good, because when you're using a credit card, you're pretty much saying, I'm gonna spend this money and I'm gonna work longer hours and I'm gonna pay it off with my future income. But your future income, it might be variable. What if tomorrow you lost your job? What if tomorrow you pretty much can't pay for it, and other things can. There's a lot of variable on the future income, whereas a bank realizes, goes, well, I can give you this money and I know for sure I'm going to get X amount of dollars per income per month. So yeah, it's depending where you are. A 0% credit card will help you. I guess it's a short-term band-aid. If you have a lot of credit card debt, personal loan debt, it might be worth it like that. But At one stage, once I paid that off, I just hold on to it for no particular reason. Every year I was paying the fee. When you get up to that far, you need to close that off as quickly as possible as well. You kind of don't need that credit facility. I go in a mentality of, if I can't pay it on the due date bill or the next week, then forget it. If I can't pay it if I don't have the fund right there, pay it off straight away, then I won't use it. So that's my philosophy of using a credit. So for example, in my groceries, when we do our grocery shopping, let's say it's $150. With that $150, I'll make sure that I have that $150 in cash. I use the credit card, maybe for the points. I don't know. These days, everyone would like to use the tap service, let's say. But then the next following day, I transfer that money in. We don't really use a credit card. We don't really like paying an annual fee just to get an access to a certain figure of fund. We'd rather use our own money. And some people think that, in case of emergency, you needed a credit card. Well, how about you have a saving account or some sort of an account? Use that as an emergency fund, not a credit card as an emergency fund, because it can cost you, as I said, about $55, whether it's a yearly annual fee of some sort, just to gain access to that fund. And to me, that's really steep. $55, that's equivalent to a couple of meals or something. Is it really worth it? For me, it's not. I'd rather build my emergency fund in case of emergency. Have a separate account that is literally for emergency, and every week we just top it up, add it, and keep on adding towards our emergency if we don't use our fund. So that's how I do it. Now, granted, when I was young, I did the balance transfer thing. It does help in a short term because you're paying less interest, let's say, and some of them give you 0% balance transfer for the first 12 months, like I said beforehand. That does help in a short term, but as soon as you have finished that payment, let's say, do close it off. You don't need that. You don't need a credit card at all. If you can, just use your debit card. Debit card have the same, insurance policy than a credit card. Some people said that, in case of it a fraud, you can refund the credit card by calling the bank. Guess what? Debit card does the same thing. I had somebody uses my credit card overseas while I was here in Australia. Call the bank. Yes, granted, it's probably going to take about a week before the fund is actually being transferred back to my account. As long as it's a valid reason, then I don't see the problem to that. What else is that? There's all of this myth that you should have a credit. In fact, having a credit card is actually shoot down your borrowing capacity as a mortgage. When I asked my mortgage broker about it, it's like, do I need a credit card? He goes, no, the less credit card you have, the better it is, the more borrowing power you can have. I did not know that. And a credit card, having multiple credit cards, is actually going to stick in your credit score or credit report. When you request a credit report, guess what? All of your application, if you're applying credit from different companies, it will show that. All the available funds that you have, it will show there. All of your personal loan, it will show there. So the less credit card info, fund, number one is probably the fund, the available fund. And then what if you just cut that off? It's even better. Life without credit cards is a lot more simpler. Coming from experience, life not having one extra bill to worry about, because that's what a credit card is. A credit card is I guess a minimum, a monthly bill that you need to pay. And if you do have a credit card, pay it in full. Don't pay the minimum requirement. If you read the terms and condition in some of the statement, it would say in there, if it's a cash advance, if you take money out in cash instead of using as a purchase, there's going to be a fee to that. If you're going to like get a withdrawal from the ATM machine, there's a fee for that. If you pay the minimum, I never knew that. I never knew when I actually read the information, because I haven't seen a credit card statement for a long time. I don't use a credit card. In fact, all our statements is online because I don't really see it. I never actually read the terms and condition until recently. If I don't pay in full, and if I pay the bare minimum, yes, the bare minimum repayment is very low. Sometimes it can be as low as $20 or $100, whatever it is, the bare minimum of your balance at the current stage. It would be taking you like 10 years to pay it off. 10 years. And you would be paying, I think 3 to 4 times the balance of that money. So that means if you have, let's say, $1,000, pay the bare minimum, it's going to take you 5 to 10 years, and that $1,000 become $4,000. So does that, whatever it is that you purchased for $1,000, were it worth $4,000 at the end of 10 years or 5 years? I don't think so. So yeah, credit card, what? Big whoop that you get this beautiful, plastic, or in some instance would be like titanium card. Yes, I don't even use the card. I use my phone. So what is the point of a card? It's like, okay, I have no idea. So is that $55 annual fee worth for this card? I mean, you're just paying for a card. I mean, this card's probably worth less than that. I don't know how much it costs to get it produced. But yeah, not worth it. If you can, avoid it. But if you do have, if you have, let's say, a big balance to kill your credit card as quickly as possible, then do balance transfer with 0% interest rate. There's bound to be plenty of them out there. I'm sure you can do your own research. I've done that myself personally. But once you have it, once you've killed the bill, kill the outstanding balance, kill the credit card. It's not that hard, just taking one phone call. I'm sure the credit card companies, they're trying to retain you as a customer, because that's what they did to me. Oh, you can have it, it's only, we waive your annual fee for the first 12 months. But at the same time, we loaded you up with, $10,000 or $20,000 credit. But for me, it's like, if you have that amount of availability as a fund, it's like going out with a loaded gun. Everywhere you go, when you saw a sale, you buy. So that's what it feels like. So don't use a credit card. Don't apply for a credit card. Use a debit card. 0% balance transfer is not worth it, unless you need to. Anyway, that's just my spiel for today. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Comment. I'll see you guys on the next video.